I mean, from story to character development to even the animation. Like, Dragon Ball Z's animation, like, everybody always goes back to, like, you know, the big fights. Like, there's, you know, Goku versus Perfect Cell, Gohan versus Perfect Cell, Piccolo versus Android 17, and then obviously, like, Goku versus Majin Vegeta, Vegito versus Super Buu. It's just there's so many good fights in the show that everything makes it it puts into like such simple perspective that clearly this is the best that it could have gotten. And it's sad because, you know, you think Dragon Ball Super being, you know, 10 plus years in the real world time, you would think the animation could have been better, but it just wasn't. And there's no real reason that it should have been like that. Especially some of the stuff that happened for like I don't remember if it was for the Battle of Gods movie, Flame Body, or if it was for the Dragon Ball Super anime after, because they did the Battle of Gods movie, then they did the Resurrection F movie, and then they were like, okay, we're going to do the anime, but we're going to take the story of the two movies, stretch them out into episodes, and start again. And it's like, why do this? Correct, Gohan had a tail. But by the time the Buu Saga came around, Toriyama forgot that Saiyans had tails, because they didn't have tails for so long. Since before the Namek Saga, tails weren't a thing for Saiyans. And so he completely forgot about it. So we get to the Buu Saga, and we have Goten as a kid and Trunks as a kid, and neither of them have tails because he admittedly forgot Saiyans had tails. And that's such a wild... It's such a wild thing to me, to forget something... Not only to forget something that you wrote, but something that should, to me, feel like this is something that you should have remembered. Like, it's kind of a big deal. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and save right here, and I'm gonna dip for like 2 minutes, and I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. I didn't even... I didn't even hit the yes to fucking save. Wow, what a dip. And that was truly so at the time it was really an iconic moment, right? But if I'm being honest, when you look at it in retrospect, it really wasn't that impressive. Like, on the other hand, it's like, whoa, what happened? He went, you know, he changed. His hair is, you know, different. But ooh, are you... But then, like, if you look at, like, first Super Saiyan transformations, they can get so much more impressive. Like, I would say my personal favorite, because I'm not going to count fusions, because obviously they already knew how to go Super Saiyan. Same thing with, like, Future Trunks, which was a cool Super Saiyan transformation when he came out of nowhere, and you're just like, who is this dude? But, I mean, even Gohan's, we saw Gohan's in a flashback. And that's, like, boring. Again, we saw Vegeta's in a flashback, unless you really count the first time we see him go Super Saiyan on screen. Against the android. But my personal favorite is the way they did Bardock going Super Saiyan. Okay, Magic Cylinder, is that like... Is that like magic coat? Oh, now we're getting Strident Blast. Ooh, is it electric type? 100 and 100. Electromagnetic blast from all 3 mounts, which may paralyze the foe. 10% chance, but it's base 100. Buy Charge Beam. Nappa and Raditz were like... I thought they were cool characters. But again, I'm pretty sure... I'm pretty sure that Toriyama just kind of forgot they even existed. And it's kind of... he's probably a steel type. It's kind of sucks because... so, Vegeta, you know, was so about the Saiyan race and, you know, king of... the Prince of Saiyans, and, you know, Nappa was one of the last Saiyans. And just killed his ass. It's like, obviously they could, you know, see about bringing him back, or even, you know, attempting to wish, like, especially him, attempting to wish his father back, or even his planet back, but he never does any of that. Goku's such a forgiving individual, and with as powerful as he is, obviously Nappa couldn't do shit. So it kind of feels like, you know, he could, you know, want to bring to bring Raditz back, and he could, you know, wish him back, and then maybe get him to stop being such a little shit. But again, flinch. Yes. Correct. Which turned out to be a good thing, but that could also just because that's how the plot was written. That was weird. I took like 2 seconds to move away from him, and he was just like, hey, stupid, if you don't keep moving, you're not going to find shit. I know there's a bed around here, so I'm not going to bother healing yet. So once we get the Master Ball, what do we do with the Master Ball? I mean, there's the Exodias, there's the 3 Egyptian gods, there's the 3 sacred beasts, there's Rainbow Dragon, which is a god. Ooh, Celtic Nobleman. Well, that sucks for you. Dude, I really want that Uriah figure that they're coming out with. It's so damn good looking. I mean, I wanted the Cyber Dragon. I wanted the Cyber End Dragon. I would love to have all of them. But not that it looks better than the Cyber End Dragon, but the level of detail on Uriah's head, which Uriah's head design is part of why I like him more than Slifer. But the way, the detail in the mouth and each individual fucking tooth is crazy. They're so expensive though, and I don't have the money to just drop on them. His ability is Perish Song? What the hell? I mean, lore-wise, that's pretty dope, but the duel's also over, so there's no more turns. Found in calcium. I think it was just that Bulma's just not as good of a person as everybody thinks. Like, I mean, the whole thing with Yamcha, which I think they ended up revealing that the Yamcha's the reason they broke up, because he was kind of a shit person to her. But, I mean, Bulma's not exactly known for being a modest individual either. And I think it's implied that Bulma is the one that made a move on Vegeta, and not the other way around. So I don't know. Like, Bulma's not the kind of girl you go chasing after. Especially when you see how she acts in Dragon Ball. Like, it just, no. Granted, Dragon Ball doesn't really do well with the females anyways. Like, Chi-Chi seemed pretty sweet, right? When she, you know, showed up to the tournament, the one right before they got married or whatever. But she's a loose cannon, and she's clearly got issues. So, also, red flags. Then there's just the various females throughout the show. And even Android 18, it's like, well, she was a delinquent and a criminal, and then got turned into an android and did some killing, and oh, well, then now she's decided to be good. But it's like, what are we going for here? What's the message we're trying to perceive? Marin, you know, the girl that he apparently, well, it's never been confirmed, but I mean, his ex-girlfriend's name is Marin, and then his daughter's name is Marin. It's kind of fucking weird. But again, it could just come down to Toriyama is just bad at writing women and couldn't even figure out women's names. So that's definitely a possibility. I will stay in with my immune to poison type. Let's see if we can get another flinch. Or we'll just fucking kill it. See, this is wild. We have 4 badges, and our team are all about to be like level 50 and above. I'm just gonna stay in. Well, I remember reading something a while back, Yugioh, and I know this is a common thing where the anime studios will change things a little bit from how they are in the manga, but not enough to really change it being, you know, sticking to the canon of the manga. And Chi-Chi's not as much of a lunatic in the manga. She's not as, like, batshit over studying and anti-fighting and all that crap. And, I mean, I don't think she's the worst mother. She could honestly just want what's best for Gohan, which, you know, becoming a martial artist is not necessarily it. Although you can make money off the tournaments, blah, blah, but she wants him to have a good degree. She basically wants him to grow up and have something that she didn't have the option to have, which is perfectly fine. But she doesn't go about it the right way. I can't use these beds. I can only use the bed where the woman says we can use the bed. It's kind of like it's kind of like with Naruto. Like, with Naruto, Sakura in the manga is a much better character than she is in the anime. But nobody knows that because if you haven't read the manga, you don't know that she's changed. and the anime studio like wanted her and Naruto together or something, and so they added stuff in that kind of like was stuff that like seemed like there was something going on between them, but that wasn't. And so, all right, Power Bond, one of my all-time favorite cards. Man, I'm telling you, before the Cyber Dragon structure deck came out, the one that gave us Cyber Dragon Nova, so many people did not know what Power Bond did. It was absurd. Whether I was at a Shonen Jump, and yes, a Shonen Jump, not a YCS, a Shonen Jump, before they were changed to YCS. When I was at those, when I was at regional events, when I'd be at, like, local events, but they weren't my locals. Like, occasionally we went to locals in other cities. The number of people that had to read my cards, whether it was reading Power Bond, whether it was reading Cyber Twin Dragon, whether... Like, why? Why do you not know these cards? And it's absurd. It was absurd the number of times I had to explain to people why they lost when I dropped a Power Bond and, you know, attacked twice with Cyber Twin Dragon. And I'm like, alright, attack with Cyber Twin directly? Or attack over your monster ball or whatever. Attack directly for game. And they're like, wait, how can you can't attack twice? It's like, it's literally in the card text. That's why it's called Twin Dragon, Cyber Twin, two heads, they both attack. It's absurd. It was funny. I'll be honest. It was funny to see people just the mind break as they're trying to comprehend what's happening because they're losing to something that is apparently so outdated that nobody had been using it for years, enough to the point that nobody remembered it. Those were the days. Those were the days. And then they gave us the Nova structure deck, and people, oh, I could use Dust Tornado the whole time. And people tried to pick up Cyber Dragons, and they couldn't play it well because they didn't understand how to play the fucking deck. And then we got Infinity, and we got more support, and it's like, nobody ever played Cyber Dragons properly. And I just got to sit there and keep, you know, judging them. And it was always funny, too, because when somebody would be trying to learn it, or they would be like, hey, go to that guy. Go to MariK. He's the one that plays the stuff. He knows what he's talking about. And, you know, I would play against them and just utterly destroy them. Whether they were playing Cybers in a mirror match against me, or whether they were playing their other deck and I was playing Cybers. It's like it just didn't matter. Wow, so many of these rockets have this thing. Yeah, I think that was also kind of like... Again, it's so forced. I don't know if that was something that was anime exclusive or not, but it just... Yeah, it just wasn't necessary. It wasn't... And that's, again, that's one of the other things that the anime changes that's very clearly in the manga is how Sasuke and Sakura feel for each other. And it's like, it's clear that it's just the two of them. It's not, there's nothing else going on with nobody. Why is it Parker with 2 Ks? The Mass Beast Asgardius. Fuck. I need to get around to watching some old animes again that I haven't watched in forever. Go back and watch some Battle City Finals and watch some GX. Maybe go back and watch some Naruto. You know, maybe like the earlier parts where it was all about ninjas and Not the other crap. Hey man, Kratos, same to you. Appreciate you. Red Eyes is trying to learn agility at level 50. No, thank you. No, no, no. No, no, no. D-Mock's 53. D-Mock's not even been seeing that much battle. But it's because he doesn't need to. The best part is I know that our team in this game is going to get better. It's already great. But it's going to get better. We're going to get the Cyber Dark Dragon, which as far as stat-wise, I don't remember how much better it is compared to what we already have on the squad. But then Rainbow Dragon, we'll be able to get access to, you know, again, the gods, the beasts, or the phantasms, the, you know, stuff like Rainbow Dragon, which is the Exodias, you know, all shit that's, you know, higher than 600 base stats. Is this where the beds are? Can I please fucking heal? You bitch! I got sniped! I got sniped, and I'm not even playing a shooter. I wanted to play Battlefront today, just because I've been in such a Battlefront mood. I've just been in such a Star Wars mood, really. And so, even, like, compared to Halo, I'd rather play Battlefront first. It just, I don't know. I feel like it's less stressful to play. Because, I mean, I take it seriously, but I don't take it as seriously. And I was going to play it today, and then I was like, you know what? I was in such a mood that I just didn't feel... I didn't feel like playing it. I don't want to play anything that was going to require, like, me serious attention. I did not sleep well last night, and my mood has just not been the best. We've been dealing with it, so it's fine. Illusion Magician. I haven't got to use D-Mock in a minute. Come on out. See, I used to have a original D-Mock, first edition. I used to have an original first edition Dark Magician Girl too. But again, 2020 ruined everything. I do want to scoop up just like a cheap, like, again, a cheap secret or ultra rare. Just so I can have some cool cards to flip through that aren't costing, you know, a bunch of money. Or even, like, even if they're not the real card, for example. Like, say I just got a really good-looking Orca. Which, I don't know, some of the cards are so cheap that it would probably be cheaper to just get, like, one of the, like, dollar secret or ultra rares that are still going to look shiny and, you know, pretty, but aren't an actual card, and so I don't have to worry about, you know, sitting here with a bunch of money, and that's kind of how I feel with my Pokemon collection and my current Yu-Gi-Oh collection. Even though that collection is small, it is worth a decent chunk. Zero the Ment. You should be a Steel type. You're not a Steel type. Are you a Rock type? You'd have to be, because you resist flying and fire. Yep. That's what I thought. Oh, yeah. One hit KO. So I think everything is now 100, or 100, nope. I think everything is now 50 except for Shining Flare Wingman, which is starting to fall behind. La Jean. Oh, that was a crit. Oh, come on. Hypnosis. Oh, gnosis. Dang, it's a good thing I don't have this Poke Flute right here. You know, I don't know if I've ever tried it, but I wonder what would happen if you use the... Could you use the Poke Flute to awake a sleeping opponent? Like, say their strategy was to use Rest and then use, like, Sleep Talk. And so, like, they rest and then the next turn they're going to Sleep Talk, but you play the Poke Flute and it wakes them up. Which, in that instance, it wouldn't really change a whole lot, because then they would just rest again. I guess you could, you know, run out their rest PP, but... Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. You hammered me.